Oh, okay, cool, cool. Now you ended up moving to ATL. Was that because of the music, or was it a coincidence at that time?
Now it's both. Like ATL was the South, and I wanted to be back in the South. I spent all my summers in Tennessee, which was really, really like moving for me. I loved being in Tennessee. And so when I graduated high school, first of all, Milwaukee was getting very violent. And I felt like if I stayed in Milwaukee, I wasn't going to make it. That either I would get killed or just in general, I was going to get depressed because there was not a lot of opportunities for Black people. And so I felt like I was stagnant there and I needed to get going. And so I moved to Atlanta for art school. Um, that was the only school that I felt comfortable with trying to do because I wasn't a good student at the time. And so I felt like, well, if I went to an art school, it would be pretty cool. And so I tried that and it worked. That's where I met Headliner, which was the first member that I put into Arrested Development. That's where I met so many other incredible people. And it really took my career to the levels that became world renowned. So it was a good look.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. I'm visiting Tennessee right now. It still got that feel to it. Coming from the north, coming down to the south, it's like you need that stability sometimes. you
No
know.
doubt. I agree.
Right, right. Now I wanted to ask you, so you was coming, y'all kind of help give Atlanta that vibe. What was the music scene like then in Atlanta compared to what it is now? The machine it is now.
It was very narrow. Like when I first got to Atlanta, it was a lot of Miami bass style hip hop being done. So it felt like Luke Skywalker, it felt like Two Live Crew, that sort of energy, which was cool, but that's about it. It didn't have any whiff to it really. So when we got down, or when I got down there and we started Arrested Development as a crew sort of touring around doing our thing, it had more of a mixture of the New York sort of style of hip hop, more boom bap, mixed with melodic, sort of gospel esque, funk, soul type of energies going into it, and then mixed with African too. So I think we took it to a whole nother level that nobody else that I knew in Atlanta was doing anything like what Arrested Development was on to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Man, big shout out to Africa. A lot of times when we talk about music, especially Black Americans, we leave Africa out. That's where it all started, and you can still feel it. And you know what I'm saying?
No doubt about it. In fact,
Right.
that's what we was giving props to. Like in a lot of our music, we was giving props to Africa as the originators, where we're from created so much, you know what I mean? So music from to academics and mathematics and everything. So it was just one of those things where we wanted to bring that to the forefront.
Oh yeah, I definitely commend y'all for that because y'all was promoting a lot of positivity, a lot of pro blackness. You hear some black queens in there, black brother, and
Yeah,
and Africa is a beautiful place for the viewers. I've been
it
to
is.
about 15 African countries. That's my plan to live in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
So
Yeah,
I got
me
to
too.
give it up to you. Y'all, and
Yeah.
and I was a kid at that time when y'all was making that music, so I want to say that y'all did plant some seeds. You know what I'm saying? It was some brothers that was listening and loving it, and it affect them to this day, including myself. So thank you, King.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Let me see. Okay, I want to talk about the album. 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days in the life of.
Yeah.
If you could kind of talk about the process of developing that album.
Yeah, well, that album was our first album, and we dropped it in 1992, and it ended up winning 2 Grammys. It ended up winning 2 MTV awards, Soul Train Award, a lot of different awards, an NAACP award. But I think, the album title comes from how long it took for us to get a record deal. We were striving to get that deal for 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days, and and then not only that, it was a it was to me a revolutionary record in every way. From the group members, we had men and women in the same crew. Um, we had heavy set, slim, people in the same crew. We had, an elder in the group and young people in the group. So all of this was new to hip hop, and we was playing live instruments on the record and also in our shows. That was new. So it wasn't that it had never been done, but it had never been done like all of those things at once. Plus, even when there was men and women, it only happened once before us. There was a crew called Funky 4+1. And then as far as an elder in the group, that had never happened. And then you had like, live bands that had happened only once before us too. And that was a group called Stetsasonic. So that was it. I mean, so we was bringing a lot of new stuff to the world with that album. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's one of the things I miss about the 90s and hip hop. Everybody sounded different. They looked it different, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays it's kind of like everybody on the same rhythm, the same cadence, the same subject matter. Arrested Development and Wu-Tang and
Exactly.
Bone and Outkast, they all had
Yep.
their own little language.
Yep.
Most definitely.